Hey folks, the cold snap is over. So we're going to get busy here on the homestead. We got some stuff to do, so stick around. Ruby and I just got back from town. We went and had coffee. It's our coffee morning this morning. And I went back by the seed store because I forgot to get my zucchini seeds, my pea seeds, and we got some onion sets also while we were there. But we need to hot foot it out to the bees this morning because we're going to pull their winter cover off. And we want to do that before they start flying. It's already up to 40 degrees. It's almost 9 o'clock this morning. So it's going to be warm as far out as I can see in the forecast. We're going to be in the 60s. And I think there's even 70s a couple days. So we're going to get the cover off those bees, and that way they got an easier access in and out of the hive. Now I know Old Man Winter is probably going to show his face maybe a couple more times before we're truly into the spring, but the bees will be okay. It's not going to get down to like 30 degrees, or excuse me, minus 30 or anything like that. Even if it gets down into the teens for a day or two, they'll be fine. So let's go get this done before they start flying and get angry with me because we're messing around their hives. All right, we successfully got our cover off, and you saw I pulled the lid off of that one box because I was a little concerned about that hive because there was not as much activity coming out of that hive as there was the other one, but they're still very healthy and thriving in that box. I could see them under the top cover. They were doing fine. Now, if you've never seen our winter cover here, we've been very successful with this design. We've overwintered our bees twice here in Nebraska, and we've gotten down to 30 below, wind chill and all that, and our bees have done just fine. So let's take a look at this box. This is our hive covers, and it's made to cover 2 hives. It's tall enough to cover 2 deep brood boxes, and it gives us a little bit of room around the sides and around the top, probably 2 inches or 3 inches all the way around. And you see we have a center divider in here as well to divide one hive from the other. And then all we give them is a little 3/4 inch hole here to venture out if need be. But you won't see them coming out until it's above 50 degrees outside. Now, another good reason to have this box is it keeps the predators, like the rodents, the mice and stuff like that, out of their box. You can see where stuff has been chewing around this hole here, probably trying to get in there, but they're not going to get in. right, we're all squared away for the summertime. We got it on a pallet so it's easy to move if we need to move it. We usually tuck it over here in the corner a little further so we can get it in and out these doors if we want. We've got our beekeeping equipment in the other tub. So let's go do some other stuff that we got to get done today. All right, let's get our stuff from the seed store. Get some paint for another project. Get out in the greenhouse and get her done. It feels so good in here. It's like 40 degrees outside and I'm running around with a short sleeve shirt. So it's a little nippy, but it's 70 degrees in here in the greenhouse. Feels so good on a chilly morning with the sun shining outside. So you can see after the other day, we planted some celery and 2 types of cabbage. We got 6 of each. So I forgot to get my zucchini squash the other day at the store. So we picked that up. We're going to be planting some zucchini squash and probably some other stuff. We're going to look around to see what else we can start early. Got our flat ready. We're recycling all these because we've purchased this in the past. Instead of throwing away, we keep them. You can see we got a pretty good supply up here of 6-packs, 4-packs, and singles and all that. If we ever need them, we have them. We even have some little coconut fiber pots up here. But always recycle. It'll save you a lot of money. So we're going to get this full of soil and we'll start planting stuff. We're going to do our zucchini and then we're going to do some herbs. And we're going to do some collard greens that were sent to me by my old buddy Joe Camara. Supposedly these collard greens are from the old country, which to us would be the Azores Islands. So these seeds were sent to him by some of his family over there. So this will be cool to have some stuff from the old country. All right, we got our stuff planted here. We've got our zucchini. We've got our collard greens. We've got some herbs planted, thyme, basil, or basil as the folks across the pond call it, some dill and some rosemary. So let's get some water in here and get these babies all watered up. Now, a good tip, if you're using a hose to water and your hose lays outside in the sun, always run the water in your hose for a while before you water your plants, because you'll notice as that water comes out, it kind of foams up white because whatever chemicals are in the hose have leached out into the water. So you want to blow all that out of there before you start watering your plants, because you never know what's in there. All right, we're all done in the greenhouse. So the next thing I want to do today is I need to move this hose hanger down to our new post. I sunk this post last fall. Apologize for the wind, folks. But I put it here so when I string the hose out, I'm right down the middle of our tree row here and I'm not having to drag hose around there. So we'll get this thing moved over here. I want to cut some height off of this post first. If we need to bring it down, I need to put a rain gauge also and a thermometer on there. Alright, we got our new hose rack complete with our weather station. Our thermometer here with the hydrometer. Pretty cool. You never want to put your thermometer into the sun. This is kind of northeast facing because the sun's going to come out this way, so it can't get the thermometer in here because it's shaded in there. And then also the afternoon sun from over there can't get in and hit that thermometer either, but it's still where we can read it over here. Right now we are at 60 degrees out here in the sun. Now our old rain gauge, we have an old John Deere rain gauge up there on top of that post. It's all faded and you can't read it no more, which is sad because I love that old John Deere rain gauge. So we got a new one. But here in Nebraska, when you go into the coffee shop, you better know how much rain you got. So I come out here in the morning before I head in, and with a flashlight I read the rain gauge, because if you don't know the amount of rain you got on your place, you better turn around and go home and figure it out, because they'll boot you out of there if you can't tell them a number. Also, with a rain gauge, you want to make sure that you've got it in an area where nothing affects it. So there's no water bouncing off the house, there's no water blowing around different because of a tree or anything like that. It's got to be in the open with nothing that will affect the level. So we have it here, there's nothing around here that's going to affect it. It's out in the open and it'll give us a true reading. I'm going to put some water in our lick tubs. They were pretty dry the other day because we hadn't watered all winter. So we're going to make sure, I'm sure a lot of that water has wicked up. You can see how we have water coming out of this hole down here now. See it running out of there? That's how you know when it's full. So it didn't take too much water, so that's a good sign. See how much this one takes. This one's taking a little bit more. There it comes. Because we got seeds in here, the top crust of these will dry a little bit, so we sprinkled a little bit on the top just to keep our seeds moist. But once they germinate and the roots start going down into the soil, we won't have to water the tops at all. I was hoping the wind wasn't going to be blowing today because it's going to be a nice day, but we're toughing it out. Look at this. So next project, you can see our fruit tree here doesn't have a very good watering basin here. Like this one over here, you can see has got a nice basin where we can put some water in it if we ever want to hand water. So we're going to go get the tractor and bring some dirt over to make a good watering basin around that tree. But first we got to get the brush crusher and get rid of this brush. really disappointed in this wind today. I was hoping to do some stuff out in the garden. I wanted to plant some onion sets, and I wanted to plant our peas. And it's the right time of year for doing that. A good way to figure that out is watch what your local farmers are planting, and then you'll kind of know what time of year to plant your stuff. Right now, everybody here is planting peas, kind of a cold weather crop. It'll stand a little bit of frost if we get a little visit from Grandpa Winter again. If they're planting corn in your area, it's time to plant corn. So let's go over to the shop and see what we can do in there, because that's out of the wind. Just remembered something we need to do. We need to fix our sprinkler pipe that goes down to our sprinkler system, feeds our sprinkler box over there. It broke in the fall. I'm not sure what broke it. I can't remember. Maybe it froze, something like that. But we're going to go get the parts for this, and I also need to get some parts for a welding project I'm doing in the shop. So I want to eliminate all these fittings. So we're going to cut right below this coupler here. We'll put another coupler on, some 3/4 inch PVC. We're going to get another valve because that's a slip valve. We need a I'm going to go from here on, we're going to go metal. So I need a metal faucet because this had a plastic faucet on it. So we'll do a metal faucet into a T, a close nipple to a slip joint, and then we'll have this fixed, because it's haven't had much moisture here in the last week or so. So we're probably going to have to start watering the grass. It's warm enough to where the sprinklers, I think, are thawed out, and they'll actually start running. But we'll see when we fix this. Let's go see if our glue is still good. Yep, we're good. We got Kelly's wagon all done and pulled out of the shop, ready to go. She was happy that we got that done. Let's go to town. Girls want to go to town? Want to go for a ride? Yeah? Load them up. And it just happens to be lunchtime, so we can kill 2 birds with 1 slingshot. Alright, we got all the parts we need, and lunch has been completed. So now we're getting ready to head home. We got to give treats to the pups. Brandy's got seniority. Here you go, Ruby. Alright, now we're ready to go. Alright, we're back from town, and the wind, she's still blowing. Pretty crazy out there. Let's go get this PVC pipe job done. Got our old riser cut off. If you've never used one of these PVC cutters, this is how it works. It just cuts right through with a knife. And the PVC, it's got kind of a ratchet down here, and it cuts right through it. You can do this in small spaces. You don't need to have enough space to get like a hacksaw in. Cuts it off nice and clean. So now we're going to take our metal piece over there that screws onto the hydrant. We'll screw this piece on. Always use the joint compound for thread sealant. I don't use the Teflon tape on stuff like this. I just use this stuff. Got our metal piece on. Now we just have to do our PVC from here to here. We're going to put the valve right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that assembly made. Figured out we've needed about 2-inch piece on either side. So we've just cut two pieces of our new pipe. So when you glue these, you don't want to put glue on the inside of here, because when you shove this pipe in, it's going to push that glue into your valve in here. So when you glue these, glue it on the portion going in, and keep your glue back from the edge. So we're not pushing any glue in front of this coupler. All the glue will be pushed back this way, but it'll still be on the inside of here. See how we're back from the edge there? That's what you want. When you look through to the inside, there's no glue inside of that valve. It's all pushed out to the outside. Now in regular fittings, it don't matter. But if you've got one of these PVC ball valves, you don't want to get glue in there. So this piece we're going to dry fit. We know this goes on here, but I'm going to put it on there and figure out where to cut this down into here, and then we'll make that cut. We'll glue it into this, and then we'll glue it onto that. All right, folks, that's enough project for today. I think we got enough done. So Kelly's home. We're going to start thinking about putting dinner together. I wanted to bring you in and show you our sprouts. This is what they look like after 2 days. Pretty fast, huh? All right, we'll leave you there. We're having skirt steak tacos for dinner. Sounds yummy, right? So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Come back and see us on Mark Kelly Farm. We got lots more to do.